welcome to the summit, How to Build Your Health and Fitness Business and Brand in 2021. I'm your host, Katie Cannon, and I have one of our amazing bonus speakers on with us today called Dion Hall, and Dion is a menopause and wellness business coach. So Dion, welcome. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I am so delighted to be here.
You are welcome, Dion. I love the yellow on you. It looks gorgeous. It looks
Thank
so
you.
bright. Amazing. Now, Dion's got a great story to share, and I think a really powerful story of if you're watching the summit where you are wanting to build your own business, you just haven't quite managed to do it yet, you're wanting to turn your passion into a business and actually start to move forwards. Dion's got a really powerful story of how she's gone from being an accountant, which she still is, but building her wellness business as a side hustle, and then in turn making it a lot bigger than that within the future. So Dion, over to you. Share with us a little bit about your background and how you decided to enter the wellness space as a second business.
Sure. So just a little bit of background about me. So I've went to college, did accounting, did a master's, and it was about 25 years ago. I was always searching for something different. I didn't know what it was, but I've always loved wellness. People always come to me for advice on wellness, this, wellness, that. I was always intrigued by that whole thing, always worked out, always ate well. And so I was kind of the informal coach. And I didn't know what to do with all of that. And so I'm like, okay, I got to do something with my life. So I went back and did an MBA in business, and that still left a hole in my heart. And I felt like, oh, gee, this still isn't it. And then fast forward years later, I was actually watching an Oprah Winfrey show. And the speaker, I don't remember who it was, said, if there's something inside of you that you need to get out into the world, you need to do it now. And if not now, then when? And the words kind of stuck with me because I knew I had this passion for wellness because everyone was always coming to me and I just loved it. And that's when I said, I have to figure out what to do with this passion that I had. And then I did some research and ended up going to the Institute of Integrated Nutrition, the nutrition school, and became a health coach right away and started practicing. I formed my business. I mean, it was like the launch pad that I needed at that time. And so I formed my company, Dion's Wellness Wagon, right away and started coaching. Now, I didn't even graduate before I started seeing clients. I was so excited about that. And then I've just been coaching, and then my business has evolved over the years. I now am mostly a menopause and a wellness business coach to other women because of my own personal journey that kind of led me to that destination. And now I spend a lot of time helping other women, showing them how they can turn their passion for wellness into a viable business that they can actually make money while still working full time, which I still do.
Amazing. And so what I'd love to ask Dion is going back to the beginning of your story when you said you did an MBA in business. I'd love to know, because one of the things that I coach to my clients and mentors have shared with me is you can study, you can take course after course after course, but unless you're actually working either with someone to help you build that business or taking actionable guided steps every single day, where do you feel you learned the most? In your MBA or when you did the integrated nutrition course, wasn't it? Was that the one?
So yes.
Kind of
So it depends.
Yeah.
Right. It depends on the learning, right? So my MBA taught me a lot of discipline, right? About leadership and management and business and how to execute on certain things, more about leadership, right? So, and a lot of that I have while I wasn't learning nutrition stuff, right? Now, being a business owner, I took what I got from integrated nutrition, which is the technical nutrition learning, right? And partner that with my existing leadership, management, organization, strategic thinking, like all the business skills, kind of partner them together, which really helps in building when you're building a business, especially if you're an entrepreneur and everything is kind of just you, right? You make all the decisions, the strategic thinking, and whether your business evolves or expand or whatever. So a lot of those, so that degree, while I didn't see how it was helping me toward my passion. I guess later, once I got into business, those skills really came in handy. And even the skills that I use today in my full-time job, right? I lead a team, and that takes a lot of skills, and you have demands and you have deadlines, and you're dealing with all these personalities and stuff. So again, I pull from that to kind of help me in my own business.
Perfect. I love that, because so many times, as I said, you go to school or you take a degree, but you still come out, and when you can't action it into the workplace, and then people then think, I need another degree to then do this. And you inherit your full degree, a couple of masters down the line, and still struggling to move forward in your career. So I always love to ask that, but I actually did, and I love to share this. I actually did business studies at college. So I was 18, and I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I started my first business when I was 22, but I was setting up things throughout my studies at uni. But I hated business studies at college. One, I had the boringest teacher ever. I actually got a U at the end of that for like unbelievably bad, probably what U stands for. I missed hours of it. I didn't want to go. And that's so not like me. When I'm committed to something, I follow it through, and I hated it. And the reason why I hated it is because it was so unpractical to the business world. And when you think I failed with flying colours business studies, and then went on to set 3 years later a very successful business. But there was so much in it that I didn't understand, that obviously, which they didn't teach you, is that a lot of you play to your strengths and you delegate out the rest, where we were trying to learn. And maths is never my strong point. I'm convinced for you, an accountant, you'd have been amazing, Dion. But 50% of it was maths and bookkeeping. And that is not what is taught. Get a good bookkeeper, focus on your strengths. So I just wanted to ask you that, because that's the thing that people often ask me: do I need another qualification? Do I need to go to uni and study this? Sometimes yes, depends what you want to build and what you want to study. But mostly, get out in the real world, get going, and learn as you go.
And so I'll just jump in with that. And I also think that's an excellent point, right? Because when I peel the onions back on myself to figure out what was I doing? Why did I need to go back for an MBA? It was searching for something that I thought I didn't have, right? I wasn't listening to my heart, in terms of my heart was calling me into wellness, but I thought it was something else, right? So I'm trying to fill this void with something else, when I had all I needed to have. I didn't need an MBA to do this, even though it's been helpful. But the point is, you probably have all you need to have to start a business. A lot of times what I find, it's the fear that holds people back. The fear of not knowing and the fear of unknown, right? So one of my mantras is feel the fear and do it anyway. You might be scared as hell, but do it. If your desire is to build a business, right, and build and obtain financial freedom and time freedom and flexibility and all of those things, you have to step out and do it. You have to take that first step. You can't wait till you have this and you have that and you have this, because you will never move.
So let's move on now, talking about that first step for Dion. So what was, as we move from your story, Dion, to talking about your existing business today, what was your first step to get Dion's Wellness Wagon up and running?
So my first step was finding out I wanted a website. That's all I ever wanted, because I thought it was cool, but I didn't even know how to go about it. But I just wanted a website because I felt that...
Just put me on a website.
Just put me on a website. I felt that if I had a website, it would be official. Like there was no turning back at that point, right?
So, I know what you mean,
Right. So that was my first step. So what I did was, so then when I found out I needed a website, it was like, well, you have to get a name. And so I'm like, okay, so this is the name. Then they said, well, you better make sure no one else is using that name. So I filed my entire paperwork by myself, did my search. No one else had Dion's Wellness Wagon, incorporated it. I did all that by myself. I did not retain a lawyer. it's so simple to do. You just have to spend a little bit of time, because I know most people who want to form an LLC or partnership or whatever always think you need a lawyer.
Oh, you don't.
You have the extra money, you can, but it's so simple. People are always telling you, giving you the steps. Once you go online and you look to see what are the steps, you just follow them. Just follow it straight through, and you just form your business. Don't need any big lawyer and a whole bunch of money and none of that stuff. It's really straightforward. So I got my website with my name and I was happy. I'm like, I'm in business.
Amazing.
So that was kind of the first step.
Amazing. A website's good. And do you know what? I actually coach a little bit reverse to that, actually. Whereas I always say, let's build your audience first before getting your branding in place. Sometimes if you've got that audience, you can then give a service to that audience. But building that audience first, from experience, this is what I did. I did it almost the wrong way around. But building that audience first to then have the website. But Dion, I did it exactly that way round. Have a website, because it does feel like it's, that's what you need to do. And that's what you need, a shop front. You absolutely need all that branding.
Right.
But,
and so, to your point, you were coaching from a professional standpoint. I didn't know any of that. I just wanted that website, right? I didn't even think about an audience, I didn't even know that, right? That shows you how immature and inexperienced I was, because all I wanted to do was to start helping people, because I'm official now. I have a website, but I didn't know that. So you're coaching on the proper way, probably, but I just went out and did it.
I was a couple of years in before I then did that, so scrappy. We all start with what you've got to just get moving. And that is the piece of advice I give anyone. Just get moving. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how many times you fall on your face. And in fact, I say in my diary, and I literally have this next to me every day with my planner and what I've got to get done each day, but I have a failing list at the back. And I highly recommend everyone have this. And I put 1 to 100. I have to fail 100 times within the year, sometimes a bit more. And I also record my wins. So it's not if it didn't work, it's a failure, but it's not a complete failure, because you've learned from it. So
yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. And I always say, fail as quick as you possibly can and fill that 100 list up as quick as you possibly can. Because you're going to make more mistakes you make, the quicker you're going to learn. So share with us, because I know obviously your business has 2 fragments to it and has 2 different income streams. So Dion, share with us the 2 parts to your business in a nutshell.
Sure. So it's 2 parts and several little other pieces underneath. So the 2 main parts are, I am a menopause coach. That's what I have declared myself to be now, because I am at that stage. And so helping all those women I can relate to. So that's a big part of my business. And then the next part of it is building, I have an essential oils business. And I also help other women, show other women, support other women, how they can actually build this business as well. The menopause piece of it, and both, I do a lot of speaking. I do conferences, workshops, local, summits, all different types of things I do. I do classes for my essential oils business and just speak in general, demonstrations, all of that stuff. But most of my time is spending coaching women, because that's kind of my sweet spot there. And women are the decision makers, right? If I can educate them on natural solutions or wellness, then that will permeate throughout the family and it spreads and that sort of stuff. So I focus primarily on those women while I build the menopause coaching and the wellness business with the essential oils.
Cool. So obviously essential oils is network marketing business, which is I'm a big advocate of network marketing. I have network marketing businesses as well. And I think it's really good to have different income streams, and something that I've definitely focused on previously, to really focusing on gold medal coaching. So I know a lot of the benefits on network marketing. So share, Dion, why you chose to build a network marketing business as a second income stream into your brand.
Right. So actually I didn't decide to volunteer. It just didn't happen. So here's the story. So I had been using essential oils. I don't like medications. I like natural solutions. I was raised that way, where it's always an herb before a medicine, right? So
Yeah.
we've always been that type, and I grew up that way. And so when I started to have children and they would get sick, a friend of mine knew how I was and said, you know what, you want to try these essential oils for fevers. You might want to try them for colds and coughs and, whatever illnesses your kids are going to. And that's how I started using them. And the benefits, so that was over like a 7-year period as they were growing up. And over that time, I was amazed by the benefits of these oils. I still didn't think much of it. And then once I had my wellness business, I started using them for some issues I was having. And again, I was amazed. And I'm like, but why? Then I understood the business model. I understood the compensation plan. And I'm like, but this is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a wellness business here. These are products that I truly love. I have testaments that they work. I am proof that they work. My children are proof that they work. It's so easy for me to incorporate it and sell it to other women or show other people that they work as well. So it was a no-brainer actually. I actually enrolled myself.
Amazing.
I didn't need anybody just because of my experience with the products. That's it. It was that simple. And I'm telling you, it probably was the best decision because that's been the most viable part of my business actually for the last couple of years. So I am so happy I actually made that decision. Because it's more than just oils, really. It's just more than just oils. A lot of people,
when they look at network marketing, just think it's a product. They don't see the business behind it. So absolutely do. And one thing that I love what you've done there is you obviously use the product for quite some time. I actually started the business like without trying the product to start with because I saw the business model. But I like how you built your wellness brand first and incorporated it because I feel sometimes people take on too many strands. They take on 3 or 4 or 5 different income streams and then struggle with time and resources to actually make it happen. So I'm pleased that you brought it in naturally into your business and made it work for you. So I have a question on essential oils because obviously I have young children. Can they heal coughs and colds? I mean, I use them for diffusers and stuff. I've never used them on my children.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So if you dilute them, it depends how old your kids are, but I will always dilute oils when I put them on my children. So I always made little bottles. So for coughs and colds, absolutely. There's a blend that doTERRA has called Breathe. That's a blend of peppermint, eucalyptus, a few different oils. And so you can also dilute that, but it's already diluted. So it's not that strong for the kids. So I would recommend that. Eucalyptus, peppermint oil is awesome. Lavender oil.
On their chest.
The chest, bottom of the feet. Bottom of the feet is important because that's where the biggest pores are. And so it gets into the bloodstream right away. Yeah. You can even do it at the back of their necks and their back as well. So you just rub them down before bed every night, bottom of the feet, chest and back. Wrap them up. Awesome.
Amazing. I'm going to try that. Because we obviously do we do Calpol and Vicks, and if they have coughs. But yeah, it's I do like the go into the natural way first of all, if you possibly can. So amazing, Dion. So I know you have a wonderful freebie and free gift for our community. So share the love.
Share the love. So it talks about building it's a business, a wellness business. If you grab the gift, you'll kind of just get some good chunks of goodness in terms of where to start, how to start. And my biggest message around all of that is it's more important to be courageous than to be perfect. Because a lot of us, and so you will read these tips, right? And people might get a little bit afraid, but you shouldn't, because if it's your desire to do this and it's your goal to do this, I would say it's better to go out being imperfect, right? Katie, you and I just talked about how I started. I just wanted a website, and you coach on, let's build that brand, let's get the customers, let's do all of that first. But until you start going through this journey,
You don't know.
you'll never know what's right or what's wrong. The important things, as you said correctly, is to just get into action. So the tips, I hope the tips will help you to make a decision in stepping out into that journey, and actually doing, just get into action, no matter what it is. It could be picking up the phone and making a phone call to a friend to say, listen, I am going to start this, or I'm going to do this, or whatever it is. Just get into action. And each day, if you do one action, before you know it, you start stacking, right? It's like a habit that's forming.
I love
But I can't stress enough. Just do. Just get into feel the fear and do it anyway, and just go do it.
Fabulous. And I always say it's like building that muscle. You know, if you're training in the gym, you know, and you, let's say today you did 10 press ups and you were like, I'm never doing that again, I'm exhausted and I need a drink and I've never, you know, I'm tired and my muscles ache. Then tomorrow do 11. Then the next day do 12 press ups. And then before you know it, in 2 months time, you'll be doing, I say 100 press ups, and you'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, do you remember the day when I only did 10? And that was only a couple of months ago. Business is the same. It's just building discipline. And like you said, habit stacking all the way.
Yeah.
So Dion, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute honor to have you on the summit and share your words of wisdom with our community. So as always, below the video is all the show notes so you can access Dion's free gift. And thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next interview. Bye. Thanks, Dion.